Hey guys, this is part 2 to the Google Docs certification for Mr. P's class. So this is an extension of the assignment that we did earlier. So in video 1, I went through questions 1 through 10. So if you need help with anything in questions 1 through 10, please make sure you go back and view that video to get help with it. So in this video, I'll be addressing questions 11 through 15. All right, so for starters, we're going to learn how to change the text and how it looks. So for that, I'm going to help Pythagoras put his formula into the correct format by making the 2's a superscript. So if you remember his formula from math class, any math class really, a squared b squared equals c squared. So the 2's are not in the correct format. So what we're going to do is we're going to change them to the correct format. So we want this 2, so we're going to highlight it. And since we're talking about formatting, we're going to go to the Format tab, go to Text, and then right here you'll see Superscript, Subscript. Superscript is what we're going to be using in this question here, and there you go. So once you click on it, it will make that a little 2. So that is now a superscript. If you're typing after it, make sure you switch it back by going to Format, Text, and then click this button again so that you're not continuing to type in superscript mode. Okay, because if you don't, you'll continue to type. So I'm going to have to go to Format, Text, and then Superscript again. Now I can type regular again. We'll do the same thing for b squared. I'm going to highlight 2, go to Format, Text, Superscript. All right, and then finally, this last 2, Format, Text, Superscript. Okay. Now, while we're at it, I just want to point out that there's other options there. So if I go back to Format, and you look, you can do all of these things to the text. We might use subscript a lot in this class when we cover chemistry. And when you use chemistry, there are subscripts in the chemical formulas that we use. So instead of typing them out like regular numbers, you can do something like this. And it'll change it to a subscript, which is something that we use in chemistry a lot. But for our purposes, we're going to be doing the superscript here. But just so you know, that is there. You can also change the size and capitalization. So what's nice about this is you can change an entire sentence to uppercase or lowercase by using this function. So in case you need to do something in all caps or something is you typed in all caps on accident, you don't have to retype it. You can choose one of these functions to make it correct. Okay. Next, we're going to insert a table that has 12 boxes. So if you notice by now that a lot of these questions start with a command or a verb. So insert is going to match a tab up here. So insert, and then there's a bunch of stuff you can insert. So we've done image already. We've done drawing already. We'll do chart tomorrow when we do Google Sheets, but we're going to do table. So when you hover over the table, you're going to see that this grid pops up. So it's asking you what kind of grid do you want, and you can make it as up to 20 by 20 is the largest one you can put in. So depending on where your mouse floats is going to be the table that it puts in. So if I want 12 boxes, all right, you're going to have to use a little math here. So you can either do 3 by 4. You could do a 4 by 3. Or you could do a 1 by 12, which is a little silly. Okay. So choose one of those. I'm going to do a 3 by 4 here. So when the blue shaded boxes are in the correct number, you can click it and it will throw that in there for you. So I have 3 boxes by 4 boxes. And this is helpful when you do things for like data storage and creating tables and recording observations in a lab. That's what this is important for. Okay. So that's how you insert a table. All right. Next, we're going to insert the greater or less than symbol or equal to symbol. So on your keyboard, you can already type the greater or less thans. All right, that's one thing. But there are more complex symbols that you can type in here. And here's how you find them. So you're going to go to Insert and then Special Characters. So there are hundreds of special characters here. All right. So what you want to do is you want to keep it at symbol. And then you can go to Math. So this is how they organize and sort everything. So you have symbols, numbers, emojis, punctuation, a bunch of other stuff that we won't really use much of this, but it's there in case you want it. So symbols, and I'm going to go to math because it's a math symbol, and I'm going to look for it. So I'm looking for a greater than or equal to symbol, and it is right here. All right, so greater than or equal to. I'm going to click on it once. All right, you can see down over here where my mouse is that it posted it in. When you click on it, it might not close this right away because it might want you, it's assuming that you might want to put in more. So if I keep clicking that, it's going to keep inserting them. So I only want one. So make sure you only put in one. Another way to do it is, this is kind of neat too. It's kind of a cool Google trick. If you go to special characters and say you didn't know where the symbol was, so I'm going to just exit out of there. You can draw it here. So I can click and drag and draw the greater than symbol with my mouse, and boom, there it is. All right. So if it's an easy shape to draw, you can just draw it right there, and then you won't have to search for it. It makes it super easy. So that's another cool way to do it as well. And then all you do is click on this, and it'll pop in there. So that's what I'm looking for there. So how many words are in this document? All right. Please don't go through and try to count every word. I asked you this on purpose to make sure that you know where this function is. So this might be helpful in English class or something where they're like, you have to have a 500-word essay or something like that. So you go up to the top where it says Tools and Word Count right there. All right, you can also do Control-Shift-C as a shortcut. So that is the word count. So when I click on this, all right, it tells me everything. It's 2 pages long. I have 223 words. I can copy and paste that. All right, you might have a different amount of words, so don't put in 223 for you. All right, you can display the word count while typing, so it'll constantly do it for you. And characters if you exclude the spaces. Okay, so then now in the bottom corner as I type, it will update. So now I have 328. All right, but at the time of it was 233. All right, and finally, there is a question here at the bottom that all I want you to practice here is leaving a comment on question. This is really helpful for you when you submit work to me because I can read the comments that you send. And this is also how I communicate with you about questions I have about your work, or if I see that you did something wrong, this is where I can correct you on it. So I'm going to be using this comments function a lot. It's the exact same thing as a teacher writing in red pen on your paper, try this next time or check your math or something like that. So in order to leave a comment, what you want to do is highlight or select what you want. Okay. And then over here, you'll see this add comment function. And that's what you're going to click on. So I made this easy for you and I typed it out, what I want you to do, so you can copy and paste this and then leave a comment that says add comment. So over here, it will have your name and the comment you leave. A few things about this is that you can tag me in the comment and it will send me a notification. If you don't tag me in the comment, then it won't send me the notification that you commented on it, and I will look at it whenever I grade your paper. Then I'll be able to see your comment. So when you submit this, the comment will stay, but if you want to draw my attention to it sooner, leave a comment. Okay? So then if you do the @ symbol, you can start typing my name in, and there's me. All right. So that's one way to get my attention. And then if you paste in there, I tried, but I need more help. Don't worry about this assign to you function. All right. So it says your mention will add people to this discussion and send them an email. You don't have to add me to that, but it's just a way to get my attention if you need extra help or you want to point something specific out. So when you leave a comment, it will say, it'll be highlighted in yellow and hang out there on the side. So whenever you submit this document, I will see that you had this over here. And then what I can do is I can go and I can reply, oh, see me during lunch or something. All right. So that's how I would reply to you. And then it should send you a notification that I replied. All right, so that's the part 2 of the Google Docs certification. This helps you go a little bit more in depth on what you're doing and can help you be successful in this class, knowing these few tips and tricks.